Hey guys, it's Brittany. So I'm going to go over supply issues when breastfeeding in the TBR2 today. There's not a ton of very specific rubrics that you have to know about, so this should be nice and short and sweet. But so first, if we go to the repertory, you obviously want to put the supply issues into your rep chart. So it's under trunk and then chest, thorax, mammae, breasts. So you have a rubric here for the nipples. If there's anything particular about the nipples, I wouldn't necessarily though jump to using the nipples rubric if there's cracked and bleeding nipples, because if you're talking about a new mom, she hasn't breastfed before or hasn't breastfed in a while, there's just like a lot of mechanical irritation from breastfeeding, right? And so a little bit of cracking and a little bit of bleeding is not the most peculiar kind of thing. It's kind of to be expected to a certain degree, obviously. Especially if you've ruled out, if there's a latch problem or something, there's probably going to be some cracking and bleeding. Okay, so I would just be careful to not jump to that rubric too soon necessarily. Milk increased, decreased, spoiled, bad. So obviously too much supply, you're dealing with engorgement issues. Milk increased. If you have too little supply, milk decreased. Spoiled or bad is, as far as I know, this is most common in women who have mastitis. It may or may not be symptomatic. So they may have lumpy breast milk. They'll see if they pump or something that or express any, that it might coagulate when it's in the jar, and this is usually considered like an asymptomatic presentation of mastitis, but it can come on with a symptomatic mastitis, like they have an infection and they have a fever, they have body aches, they have all of these mastitis signs as well. So those are the three main ones when it comes to the actual supply. Now, remember, as I've said in other videos, the breasts are glands. So if you go to generals, glands, any of these rubrics that are appropriate for your case are fair game. So inflammation, induration, heaviness, these would be women who have more of an oversupply issue in general. Heaviness, sensation, induration. There's also, where is it? Atrophy. It's right at the beginning. So this would be like, if the woman doesn't have enough of a supply, but she sort of feels it, right? Like it feels sort of like the breasts have atrophied a little bit. They don't feel as full as they should. You could consider something like this, right? Okay. And then obviously women are usually in the early postpartum when they're having a supply issue, but not always, of course. And so you should have lots of other symptoms to go on. Usually there's a lot of mental and emotional changes that you could look at, and a lot of different things going on with their bodies. A lot of things changing. So you shouldn't have a problem in that respect. So, till next time.